A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a contentious and closely watched vote, the House of Representatives has passed President Donald Trump's much-debated Big Beautiful Bill by a narrow margin of 218 to 214. This legislative package, which combines sweeping changes to tax policy and social welfare programs, is set to be signed into law on July 4th, coinciding with the Independence Day celebrations. The passage of this bill has been met with both applause and outrage, as it promises to reshape the landscape of social safety nets in America. Republicans have celebrated the passage of the bill, viewing it as a significant victory for the Trump administration. House Speaker Mike Johnson, addressing the Republican caucus before the vote, emphasized the urgency of delivering the legislation, stating, "The President of the United States is waiting with his pen. The American people are waiting for this relief. We've heard enough talk. It's time for action. Let's finish the job for him." However, critics, including Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, have condemned the bill as a direct assault on the health and welfare of millions of Americans. Jeffries, in a marathon speech that broke the record for the longest address in House history, argued that the cuts to Medicaid and food assistance programs would lead to dire consequences for vulnerable populations. People will die. Tens of thousands, perhaps year after year, as a result of the Republican assault on the health care of the American people, he stated, painting a grim picture of the potential fallout from the legislation. The bill's provisions include stringent requirements for Medicaid recipients, mandating that able-bodied adults under 65 either work or volunteer for a minimum of 20 hours per week to maintain their coverage. According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, this could result in over 10 million Americans losing their Medicaid benefits. Additionally, the legislation is expected to cut more than $1 trillion from the program, while also impacting the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, potentially leaving millions without food assistance. Supporters of the bill argue that it will stimulate economic growth and provide necessary tax relief, particularly to wealthier Americans. The legislation extends the tax cuts originally enacted in 2017 and introduces new tax breaks that Trump promised during his 2024 campaign. However, the estimated increase in national debt due to these tax cuts is projected to exceed $4 trillion, raising concerns among fiscal conservatives and critics alike. The response from the public has been overwhelmingly negative, with protests erupting at the Capitol and disruptions occurring at town halls across the nation. Many Americans are deeply concerned about the implications of the bill, particularly for low-income families and individuals who rely on government assistance. The GOP's framing of welfare recipients as lazy and couch potatoes has further inflamed tensions, as critics argue that this narrative is both misleading and harmful. As the bill moves towards the president's desk, the White House has been quick to tout its potential benefits. Trump has taken to social media, claiming that the legislation will usher in an era of prosperity and growth. He dismissed concerns over cuts to social safety nets, suggesting that the focus should instead be on economic expansion. However, many remain skeptical of these assertions, particularly in light of the projected loss of health care coverage for millions. The passage of the Big Beautiful Bill marks a pivotal moment in American politics, highlighting the deep divisions within Congress and the stark contrasts in policy priorities between the two major parties. As Trump prepares to sign the bill into law, the ramifications of this legislation will likely be felt for years to come, shaping the future of social programs and economic policy in the United States. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.